glory. Yeah. We worship you, our God, for you are worthy. Father, we worship your supremacy. We give you all the glory. We worship you, our God, for you alone is worthy to be praised. Glorious God, beautiful King, excellent God, I bow before your throne. Glorious God, beautiful King, excellent God, I bow before your throne. Glorious God, beautiful King, excellent God, I bow before your throne. I bow.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to. Good evening. Welcome to Impact Royal TV, and welcome to your favorite program, Something in It for You. Before we go on in today's program, let me quickly say this. I just want to encourage you. The first thing first to do is to share on your wall. Then the second thing I want you to do, friends, is to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Impact Royal TV. Just try to subscribe. Then also press the button, the notification button. Press it. It costs you nothing, absolutely nothing. But what it does is that you're helping your brother, you're helping the community, then you're becoming a blessing to people. That's what it does. And whenever we have special program or events, whatever is going on this station, you will be able to connect. Then you get alert. We all together can make it better. I know that Something in It for You comes up before on every Thursday at 3 p.m. But for some reason, so I've decided to change it to Monday now. So I'll be coming your way on Something in It for You on every Monday at 6 p.m. It's just something to provoke you, something to challenge you, something to let you review, reflect, and rethink, knowing fully well that your life can still be better than this. Your life can still be better than this. I am not ashamed to tell anyone that I'm a believer, and as such, Something in It for You is also reflecting from the biblical perspective that as a child of God, you are not limited by any situation or circumstances. You can create wealth. You can be wealthy and still be a believer. You can be a leader and still be a believer. There are so many great things that you can do, and you still be a believer, and none of those things will affect your Christian faith or your Christian journey. So that's what something in it for you is all about. To provoke, to challenge, and to encourage. I believe that you will have something that you will take away, that you will hold on to. And that's something that can be a blessing to you. That can be a blessing to you. So in most cases, going to be looking at it from different perspectives, going to be looking at it from the something in it for you from the political perspective, business perspective, theological perspective, because I strongly believe, this is my view, there are 3 institutions that govern the world. 3 institutions that governs the world. It doesn't matter how much you try to be holistic. You can never live an isolated life. You may not like the politicians, but they rule. They're going to make rules that will govern you as a believer. They're going to make rules that will govern you as a believer. So, you cannot say you do not like them. Whether you like them or you do not like them, they're going to rule. They're going to make rules and regulations. So you need to be involved to be able to influence whatever decisions or rules that they're going to make that may affect your future and the future of your children. The same way when you look at the economy, it's another institution that rules the world. No one wants to be poor. It is nonsensical for anyone to say, I do not like money, I do not like wealth. It is because you do not have. Sometimes what a man lacks or does not have, they tend to be critical of it. Some will tell you that everything in the world is not money. Nobody is saying that everything in the world is money. Even when you see the wealthy people, they will still tell you everything in the world is not about money. But it is important that you live a life that is not a life of depending on friends and family before you pay your bills, before you feed your family, before you do, you do the basics and the necessity of life. Until you are in a situation that you cannot do those things, then you know that money is important. Those things are not things that prayer will do for you. No. They are not things that prayer will make available. You may go to whatever mountain you need to go to. The Bible is very specific. Hands that do not work must not eat. So you need work. You need to be an enterprise or entrepreneur, You need to have an enterprising idea. Then you need to be dedicated and focused. Sometimes things may not work the way you want it to work, but that does not mean that you need to give up, you need to surrender, you need to close the shop. Those who are successful today, they went through many seasons of life. So the third institution is institution of religion. Oh, I hate religion. No worries. Some people hate politics, but they didn't leave this world, they still live in the world. The politicians still make rules for them. Some people hate capitalism, they prefer socialism or liberal democracies or liberal economy. But the fact of the matter remains, some people prefer conservatism. So that's why we're individuals, we're different. But when you put all this together, it still boils down to the fact that these institutions have come to stay, to live with humanity, until you start to get an idea how to work around it for you to make a living. So whether you like a religion, you don't play religion, it makes no difference. You may not play religion, but religion is come to stay. You may not like the Christian faith. You may not like the Islamic faith. You may not like the African traditional religion. You may not like Shintoism, Taoism, Buddhism, and all the isms put together. You may not like them, but they have come to stay. They have come to stay. They're not going to leave the world for you. But you need to apply wisdom. How to live in a world that is filled with so many issues. So, political issues will always be, whether in Africa, in Europe, or in America, there will always be. There will be those that favor democratic process, there are those that are autocratic. There is a power tussle between the democratic process and the autocracy. Serious power tussle. And you see that everywhere in the world, even the Western world, the so-called civilized world, they play politics. Between husband and wife and children and members of the family, there is always politics. When you look at the church too, there are politics. But stylishly, you call it a diplomacy. But at the end of the day, whether you call it diplomacy, it's still an offshoot of politics that you have to play to be able to get along with people. Even politicians, it's not all the time they get along with one another, but there are times that you have to work with your enemy for the purpose of achieving goals in life. So whether you like politics, you do not like the wealthy people, the economy, or do not like the religious people, they have come to stay. So in other words, you're going to live that seasons of life. That season of life. The earlier the better that you begin to understand what the seasons of life means and how to navigate through that seasons of life. How to navigate through the season of life. As I've said to you that I'm not ashamed to tell you that I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I believe in wealth. I believe in democratic principles and process. And as a result of that, I know that you can make money, through legitimate process. I know that for sure. I preach that, I encourage that, and I advise that. So, today I want to examine the life of a particular person who, at the age of 17, already started to position himself for leadership. at the age of 17 amongst his brethren. He already positioning himself, taking steps, doing things that draw the attention of his father, that made their father to think that this particular child is exceptionally different. Unless parents that are not being truthful to themselves, or for whatever reasons, that you choose to remain quiet or silent, I understand, because wisdom is profitable. And you do not want to create issues amongst your children, so that there will not be sibling rivalry. You know, even if you have 100 children, you know one in particular that is exceptionally gifted, exceptionally different. The one in particular that can be different, that can be trusted. That when you tell that individual what to do, he or she will do it exactly the way you wanted it. You know that individual that if you close your eyes, your legacy it will embrace. You know that individual that if you put money or information or whatever it is you put in his care, he will surely look after. And he will do it accordingly, without any abuse or mismanagement. He or she can be trusted. Likewise, you know among the children too that even when you're sleeping, you sleep with one eye closed, then another eye open. Even though you're the father, you're the mother, you are them same father, same mother, but they're choosing to become different personalities. Different personalities. You know that as parents, unless we're deceiving ourselves that we do not know this, or perhaps you do not want to acknowledge it. So we cannot say we are all equal, because we do not behave equally. Each one may choose which path to follow. So we have seasons of life. Even weather too, there are seasons. There are seasons. You have winter time, summer time, autumn time, spring time. There are different seasons. Different seasons. So this individual person that wants to share the story of his life is Joseph. And I read the narrative of his life from Genesis chapter 37. And I discovered a number of things. The number one, because of his personality, his attitude, he received the approval of his father. Let me say this to someone right now. Father's blessing is essential. Your mother's blessing is essential. Your mother's blessing cannot be enough. Your father's blessing cannot be enough. You need a blessing of the two of them. You need a blessing of the two of them. It doesn't matter, maybe you've come from a broken home where the parents are separated. But try as much as possible for the sake of your own destiny. Never allow any of the party to turn you to a football that they're going to be played here, there, and there, tussle all over the places. It's your destiny they're tussling with. You need the approval of both parents. Approval of both parents. So the first thing I discovered is that Jacob affirmed Joseph. He approved of his style. When we say approve, he received blessing. He received his father's endorsement. Because the father was happy with him. So, amongst the children, the point I'm making is that he enjoyed his father's favor. You may want to say that's discriminatory, that is not being fair. Your attitude will qualify you for what you get. Your attitude will qualify you for what you get. It's as simple as that. His attitude qualified him to enjoy his father's favor. His father's favor. And for that reason, the father tends to bless him all the time. And one of the things we discovered was that he sold him coat of many colors. Coat of many colors. Beautiful, glorious. And each of those colors represent different seasons of his life. Different seasons of his life that he went through, and at the end, the end was better than the beginning. So there was a season of approval. But the question today is, are you blessed by your parents? Whether before they died, or when, or at their dying bed, or when they were still alive, were you blessed? And when we're talking about parents, there are two sets of parents. You have your biological parents, you also have spiritual parents. I have learned this many, many, many years ago. Two of my prominent spiritual parents, they went to be with the Lord many years now. I've learned this many times, that even when they do things that you do not agree with, never put yourself in a position that they will curse you. Never let them bless you. Oh, you may think, oh, they've gone, you accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior. Oh, no one can curse you. Uncle, this is spiritual foolishness. It is spiritual foolishness to think that way. You can be cursed. You can't be cursed. So, your spiritual parents matters, and your biological parents matters. It is important to receive their blessing. And that is approval. It goes a very long way. In the same way with you having a mentor. To have a mentor. So, in one of my teachings in Leading in Excellence, that I'll be starting on Saturdays, so I'll be talking about mentor along the line. The essence of all this is just to share my wealth of experience with you, both academically and ministry-wise, so that you can be blessed as well. You can be blessed as well. So, season of approval. There are 9 seasons of life I want to share with you. I may not finish them today, so we'll continue another time. But let me just giving you approval number 1, which is season number 1. That will always be that. And there are people that can make that possible. A child that is blessed by his parents will always be ahead, not beneath. Difficulties may arise, but they always prevail. Challenges may come their way, but they always triumph. Life may blow them all manners of wind or storm, but go and look at it very well. They always have a way to overcome. Always have a way to overcome. But because the prayers of their parents work for them, go ahead of them. It goes a very long way. Season number 2 in a man's life. Season number 2 is a season of dream. It's a season of dream. We all dream. We do dream. But it all depends on what kind of dream do you dream. Do you dream of becoming a better person, great person tomorrow? And see yourself going down. What is your dream? Dream is also about vision. It's also about plan. It's also about how you want to live your tomorrow. It's all about dream. It's all about dream. And dream is about ability to set you aside apart from others. To set you aside apart from others. You see, in this young man, right from the age 17, he has started to dream. I'm sure you know some of our children, maybe somebody that you know. I've heard stories, I've read stories of people that already know what they were going to do when they get older. And guess what? When they get older, that was exactly what they were doing. They already had a passion for it. And they will do everything to pursue that dream. To pursue the dream. So the question I'm putting to you today is, are you living in your dream? Or you want to start to dream your dream now? As long as you're still alive, you can still dream. Age is never a barrier. You see, there's a time for every dream to manifest. Look at Moses. The dream was to deliver his people. Even though he was brought up in the palace, but he didn't see himself as belonging to the palace. He saw himself as members of the oppressed. He remembered his background. He remembered where he came from. He didn't allow the trappings and the food and the privileges of the palace to get to his head. So, many a times, because of the comfort, because of the environment that we live, things that we enjoy, we tend to forget where we come from. We tend to forget that once upon a time, you were someone that cannot pay your bills. You were someone that did not have light, no shoes, no car, no qualification to your name. You absolutely had nothing. Then all of a sudden, things turn around. You are not the same person that is oppressing, marginalizing other people. People that for the grace of God, you came out of that root, out of that, class. And God changed your class, but you've forgotten those that you left behind. So, what Moses did was, he acted his dream when it wasn't time for him to do it. He acted his dream when it wasn't time. He wasn't waiting. And you know the rest of the story. But the good thing about him, about the story of his life, was the fact that he never stopped to pursue that dream. And age was never a barrier. At the age of 80, he fulfilled his dream. He fulfilled it. So in the season of dream, many people will hate you. Many people will hate you in your season of dream. In your season of dream, many people will despise you. But I want to say to you, as part of the lesson number 2 today, try as much as you can to capture your own dream. It is when your dream becomes a success that they will now remember. They will now be able to associate with you. They will now want to be part of you. When your dream becomes a success. But between the trial period, the challenging moment, the difficulty session, and the time of success, when you look at those periods, it's not everyone that will remain with you, that will be with you, that will embrace you. Some of your beautiful friends will have abandoned you or run away from you because They do not want to be associated with you because to them at that time, you are a failure. But when things turn around, they will now remember that you went to school together, you live in the same neighborhood, oh, you know each other's parents. You know, they start to tell your story to establish the fact that, they knew you far, before everybody gets to know you. So, in the season of your dream, different people will come your way. Those are going to despise you, those are going to hate you, and those are going to love you. But one thing you need to do, never shift your focus away from your dream. And also beware, because one of the greatest mistakes that Joseph made was the fact that he was sharing his dream with people that he thought he knows them. He thought they were his brothers. He thought they were his family. In the true sense of it, they were his brother, they were his family. It is not every member of the family that wants you to be greater than them. Not every member of the family that wants your dream to be bigger than their dream. It's not. It's not everyone. And it was because of lack of wisdom. He lacked wisdom because he lacked that, and he doesn't have a mentor that to talk to discuss issues with, that will have advised him to keep those things to himself. Imagine when Saul's uncle met him, and Saul had an encounter with Samuel. The prophet told him about what he was going to become when they lost their sheep that they're looking for. He told him how they're going to find it, and thereafter he told Saul that Saul was going to become a king. Saul's uncle asked him, what did the prophet say? But guess what? Saul applied wisdom. About the kingship thing, he didn't tell his uncle. He kept that to himself. Oh, I'm not teaching you to tell lies. That is not a lie. Because that is your own personal life. What you do not tell does not qualify lies. It is what you tell that is not truthful that become a lie. But what you keep to yourself that you do not say anything about, that isn't a lie. He applied wisdom. He didn't tell his uncle that he was going to become a king until when it happens. But here Joseph lacked wisdom. He had no one to mentor him. He had no one to advise him. And guess what he did? He was just like what I love to say, was running his mouth. He was running his mouth, blowing his trumpet, telling them about all what he dreamed, all what he saw. But try as much as possible to know who and who you share your dream with. Because there are some people that is called dream killers. And beware of them. You see, they are not going anywhere, but they are ready to stop you from fulfilling your own dream. They are not going anywhere, but they are determined to make sure that they end your dream. Your dream do not manifest, and your dream dies. So, there is always dream killers. Beware of them. So in the school of your dream, in the season of your dream, that's basically what it's all about. There is a price for you to pay for your dream. We pay different prices. So whatever price that you need to pay for the purpose of your dream, pay it. Some could be educational. Some could be pain. It could be affliction. It could be tribulation. It could be challenges. Some you need to start all over again. You need to retrain. These are price to pay for your dream. For your dream. Don't look at it as punishment. Don't look at it as suffering. It is a price that you need to pay. A price payer is a crown wearer. A crown wearer is a price payer. If you're not ready to pay a price, you cannot wear the crown. You cannot wear the crown. Success doesn't just come like that. Success comes through pains, challenges, difficulties. And when you come out of all that, and that's what it means, that you overcome. You overcome. So it takes time for a dream to materialize. It takes time. And always trust me, there is a waiting time. A waiting time. Don't be too much in a hurry. Keep on working. Be steadfast, be focused. It took 13 years for Joseph's dream to materialize. 13 good years. For his dream to materialize, to come to effect. 13 good years. So stay on the lane. Don't quit. Do not surrender. That is season. Whatever you're going through at that time is a season of dream. There are forces that is waging war against you to abort and to crush your dream. Must you let them? Must you allow them? It may be in academic world. Maybe you're having challenges about your coursework, about your exams. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Pay the price. Burn the night candle. Do what you need to do. It is when you are successful on your graduation day that people will come and rejoice with you. Every one of us, we are who we are today because we're able to stay the course, pay the price. And that's why we can live in our dream. Every successful individual you want to talk about, male or female, go and ask them. The journey they travel through to be able to fulfill their dream. What you see most people doing at the moment, in living in their dream and all that, is a conception. They already have the conception in their mind, what they want to do, how they want to do it, how they need to go about it. And they started to put all those things in practice. Doesn't it the Bible say we should not despise our humble beginning? Go and start small. The elder says, little drops of water makes the mighty ocean. Start little by little. And before you know, if heaven smiles on you, then you become great tomorrow. So in the season of life, I've just told you about two things, two seasons. Season of approval and season of dream. There are 9 seasons of life based on the life of Joseph. So I will stop here today. Next Monday, we'll continue on the season of life. I hope I've been able to ignite you, ginger you, provoke you, let you see that you are created to be a success. You are not a failure. Perhaps this is the time that you need to start to see things differently. And you need to wake up and start to do the right thing, to pursue your dream. It's not all of us that will remain and be doing a white collar job. Not all of us. There are so many things that you can do. But all of us can become a success. If you're determined and you remain focused and you pray to God, you will come back and say, I used to be like this, but the story today is different. Until such a time I come your way, God bless you. And I look forward to see you again tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. about Victory Hour. Victory Hour is about prayer. So let me quickly round up and say to you, friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel. do it now. If you're my friend, come on, do it. I will do the same thing for you. I will surely do it, put it on my wall, send it to my friends, to subscribe that you are my friend. So why can't you do the same thing here? You're my friend. Yes, you are. Yeah, you are my friend. So subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. So want this channel to go global. So help and help and help and help. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.